The Fantastic Four. A lot of anticipation with this movie, considering the previous two were real flops. Adrian, kick us off this time. What did you think of Fantastic Four overall?
I have never liked any of the Fantastic Fours, and I wasn't about to start with.
You were you were pretty
it,
determined going into this one, like
Jesus.
you a little behind
nah,
inside, a little behind the
No
I
scenes.
tried to
chance,
give it a
huh?
chance.
Adrian was pushing
No, it
back
doesn't sound like
on
it.
doing this. Yeah, but go ahead.
I
Sorry,
definitely
go ahead.
tried to give it a chance, but it wasn't it. It was just like blah. I guess the acting was good. I didn't like the casting overall. There was probably like two characters I think they could have redone that I was just like, eh. But then again, they haven't gotten Human Torch. They haven't gotten him right yet in any of the movies. Like,
Okay.
so I'm
I don't
saying
know.
like that was still not on point. I just I didn't like it. I mean, it's a boring. It just didn't make sense to me. Like you said, black holes, uh, for nerds. It's just not my thing, man. Just not my
Wow.
thing. I've
It's not your
never
speed.
been about the Fantastic Four yet.
Larry, I heard a little pushback from you. What were your overall thoughts on this one?
I enjoyed it. I watched it a second time, like it did with Superman, and once again, second time, enjoyed it a little more. The first time was okay, and then the second time I kind of got more into it and enjoyed it a little more.
What were the things that stood out to you the second time
I
around?
think the Silver Surfer backstory, kind of all of her, kind of I enjoyed a little more knowing what you learn about her. But I agree with Adrian, Johnny, the guy who played Johnny Storm, didn't do it for me
So
either. You know, it
that's
might be the
Joseph.
beady eyes.
It's Joseph Quinn. He made his real fame in Stranger Things, and he's good in that. I enjoy him in general, but I have some thoughts on him. But before that, Anthony, you sounded the most optimistic with your opening line about Marvel moving forward here. What'd you think of Fantastic Four?
I thought it was pretty okay. I think it was good. I think it was good, but I think it was good as like a setup. Like I feel like it was a good introduction movie setting the foundation to like what is to come with like Doomsday and then Secret Wars. I think this was like a good setup. So but still like again like I agree with my dad. I think there was like the casting was rough and I think overall I feel like they really honed in on like certain parts of like Reed Richards, especially. It's like they really honed in on like smartest person in the world rather than like Mr. Fantastic. Because like I feel like it wasn't really until the very end that we saw him in action or even using his powers really. So I feel like that was something for me where I was kind of like, ah, come on, like you're not just Reed Richards, you're also Mr. Fantastic, you know. So I feel like there were certain points, like just like that, like little things like that, where I'm just like I wanted more, but either way, I still think it was generally good.
I could have used more of the seeing the family as like in action. I mean, we get really one really big scene with them in action. I could have used a little more of that.
Those are fair points. I think we really get like that come to mind off the bat. There's like two action sequences really in this whole movie, right? And it kind of
And
happens.
one of them, they're in the jet, right?
Right. Well, take it easy.
I mean,
Spoiler.
are we jump?
There's
That's what I'm
there's
saying. Are we
in this
jumping into
movie.
spoilers?
Hold on.
Are we jumping into spoilers?
I see you're ready to attack. Let me give my spoiler-free thoughts, and then we'll get into spoilers. To do that, I'm going to bring in my guests really quick. This person has an attitude. I had an attitude after this movie, and you guys might be familiar with him. Actually, I know you're familiar with him, and that is Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 version. Let's make it clear. But I think his whole interaction here with Leo from this point sums up how I felt about this movie.
Oh, that's the plan from a great leader, huh? Just sit here on our butt. I never said I was a great leader. Well, you sure act like it sometimes. Yeah? Well, you act like a jerk sometimes, you know that? And this attitude of yours isn't helping anything. Yeah? Well, maybe I'll just take my attitude and why leave. Don't you? I will. Good. Great. Go ahead. We don't need you.
Pork rind.
Pork rind. Pork rind.
I feel like that whole interaction with Raph and Leo is like Marvel Kevin Feige is Leo, and I'm Raph, just like, so wait, we have this huge opportunity to make the Fantastic Four relevant, bring it back from the depths of the ashes that it was, and they make it this? I appreciated the style going like back into like, you know, the late 50s, 60s. But it also was hard to think of like what they envisioned as the future being in 2025 and like seeing some of the technology and how that doesn't really mesh up with that time or our time. It was like too ahead of its time, but behind in our time. So it's a weird way to kind of balance
It
all
was like
that.
the Jetsons.
I thought that, but the Jetsons, I feel like were even more futuristic as
Right.
far as like,
Right.
I mean, this is very minor spoiler alert. You see it in the trailer. It's very minor, very minor. But Sue has a birth control test. And that's pretty much what we have like now. You
What
know,
did you
Oh, just
want?
digital, right? It was just digital instead of a
What
like
did you?
color
Yeah. What did?
line. Yeah.
But what did you want?
that's one example. We can go over a couple other examples as we go into
And
spoilers.
spoilers.
But I think overall, you know, people are gonna like this movie. People are gonna find it as like again, it's like a family film. It has a family message. I think anyone over 7 could watch this. Like the violence isn't very violent. I think they say bullshit maybe once. There's nothing sexual. The jokes are tame. It's just very, very moderate. You know what I mean? Very PG. Yeah, it's very PG. I'd argue even maybe G, except that
I
there
would say
is like
G, because PG it at least has some jokes for adults. You know what I mean? Like this had nothing.
or some action, like to our point, like Raph says, we're just gonna sit here on our butts. Like there's 2 action scenes, and a lot of it is at their house. Where, to your point, Anthony, and again, this isn't spoilers, but like a lot of it is spent there, and he's being Reed Richards versus Mr. Fantastic, right? So I agree. I think it is setting a stage. Its first steps, it's in the title. But back in the day, like you can make a movie stand on its own and then build from that. You don't have to have it be a building block. So it's disappointing in that way. Let's go around and do our comedy scale before we dive into spoilers. So up, down, or even. Remember, we're on an audio podcasts also. So if you could verbalize what you're doing and, you know, give a little context. Anthony, start us off. Up, down, or even?
I think I got even.
Even. Wow.
Even. Yeah,
Okay.
You came
I was
in hype.
expecting you came in hot. Like Marvel has a chance.
But this movie in itself, I feel like it was good, but I feel like regardless to what it was still had like a lot of bland points. But to like the greater scheme of like what's happening in the MCU and everything, I'm like, yes, like that's thumbs are up. But
I misread it. I'll be honest. I thought it was like, you know, from Dumb and Dumber, like, so you're saying there's a chance. He was like trying to say that. But I guess I was wrong. I guess he really liked it and that they have a chance.
Yeah.
You thought you'd be sarcastic.
Yeah.
No.
I heard it when I read it in Dumb and Dumber's voice. Like, so you're saying there's a chance.
I see. I think you're projecting there. I think you're projecting there your own thoughts. But we can go to you next, Adrian. Up, down, or even?
I'm gonna go even just because it is the best. It is the best of all the ones I've seen so far. But it's still not good.
It's not
So I'll go even for sure.
Okay. Larry, where are you at?
We're gonna go up. Yeah, we're gonna stay positive with it. Yeah, I had some, you know, gripes with the movie, but overall, you know, it wasn't bad. It was good. It was a good movie. It's enjoyable. I like the sci-fi aspect of it, so.
Yeah. I again, I won't give it away quite yet, but I'd say the first half of the movie feels like it could be a movie in itself with a conclusion, and then the second half is just like part 2. You know what I mean? Like it's very split in half in that way. And I think I probably enjoyed the first half more. With that being said, I'm going to go even just because it's not a bad movie. It's not it does it's standard. It has its point of like, okay, here's a brief backstory. Here's the first mission they have. Oh, there's an obstacle they accomplish, or don't they? What you get, like it hits those beats. Oh, there's a bigger challenge. How are we gonna fix this? Let's find a solution.
Sounds like a superhero movie to me.
Well, I know, but that's my problem. My problem is that I want something to like, if we're moving forward, we need something that's going to like propel the franchise forward instead of giving us another run of the mill story and we just change the costumes. You know what I mean? But let's go into spoilers so we can talk a little bit more freely here.